Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming to this presentation. My name is Jason Lee, and I'm from Taiwan. This is my second time to iGEM, and yes, thanks for coming. I'm going to start my presentation with my special product. It's called energy-saving lighting, but I give you a special term called optical film reflection lamp. When people was talking about energy saving on lighting, most of the people, they focus on the light source. They try to reduce the power consumption of the light source. For example, from the tungsten to fluorescent up to the LED. So they try and focus themselves on the power, reduce the power of the light source. But we are using a different way to save energy. We are using a reflector. And I'm gonna show you how can we achieve a better saving compared to LED by our optical film reflection lamp. Basically, this page will give you what can we do for you, for our product. First, we can save your lighting energy more than 75%. The second, we can achieve a good quality as traditional lamp. There is an index called color rendering index, which is an index compared to our sunlight. The CRR index of sunlight is 100. For every artificial made lighting will be compared to the sunlight. So that's why you can see yellow, red, green, and blue. So far, the higher the score, the index, the better the artificial light is. Because we are using traditional lamp, fluorescent, so we provide as good as traditional lamp regarding the CRI index, okay? Because we are using only 25% of the energy, so we produce less heat. And of course, you can save more on your air conditioning cost. And of course, you reduce your carbon dioxide. And one more special feature of my lamp is we can change the light distribution pattern. I will introduce later by a separate page regarding how. We can give you a longer lifetime of your fluorescent lamp, and our payback is very short. Let's say for the price in Malaysia, you can get it payback within 2 years. Okay, this is how we develop our optical film. In year 2004, the Olympic Athens, the torch was lit by a focused sunlight by this by this bulb. They focused sunlight and lit up the torch. And we are using this way to design something like this. This is the traditional light. With a fluorescent tube, you got a 360-degree light emission. However, you only use very small portion, downwards. Say only 30% or 40%. For the light generated by this fluorescent tube, light upwards and lateral, they are all wasted because of the irregular phase. And according to the basic physics, this was reflecting and then was turned into heat. So you only use very small portion of light. So by this, we introduce our optical film, which is very high reflection efficiency, more than 95%. So, and a well-calculated curve to make sure every light beam is reflected downwards. So if you take off the traditional lamp, the tube, you take off here and assemble in our lamps. One lamp here, one tube here is brighter than two tubes here. And next page, I'm going to show you the comparison chart. This is the traditional office ceiling lamp. With 4 tubes, each one power consumption is 20 watt. So you got 80 watt power consumption, plus the starter and the transformer inside. So one set power consumption is 150 watt. With my T5, we have 2 T5s. Each one is 14. 2 is 28, plus the electronic balance inside. So one step of OFRL, the power consumption is only 31 watt. So from 115 watt down to 31, it's already 75% saving. However, you get a better lux reading compared to traditional lamp at a height of 1.8 meter. You got 433 lux, 30 lux, and then compared to traditional 283 lux. In fact, if you get an equal reading, 283 lux, you save already 75% already. Okay. The next page is the cost analysis. For one-to-one comparison, for each set you save 84 watt. And then if you use office 12 hours a day, 25 days a month, 12 months a year, then you get saving 302 kilowatt hour. Then you can calculate how much does it cost you in your country, Malaysia, in Taiwan, or in Europe. And you can calculate your yearly saving per set. This number is a price in Europe, in Germany. In fact, I showed my product in Germany 4 years ago. And in Germany, because the price is high, so the saving is also high. Okay, and if you have an application for underground parking, you use the lighting for 24 hours. So this number should be times 2. And the kilowatt hour saving is times 2. And the yearly saving also times 2. So normally, you get your investment on my optical film payback within 2 years. I will skip this one. Yeah. And what I want to say on this page is we don't manufacture in the light tube. We also buy from Philips. So as far as what the lifetime that Philips told you, you enjoy the lifetime, 20,000 hours. And plus the color rendering index is more than 85. Remember, the sunlight of color rendering is 100. So every artificial light is compared with the sunlight. Okay, and something, this I just want to show you. For this, we also buy from Philips. So for future replacement, when you change a lamp, you have to consider not only the first time investment cost, you have also to consider the long-term running cost and maintenance cost. For our lamp, we are using this traditional T5. So you can buy it from Carrefour, Tesco, everywhere in the supermarket. It's very easy to get your replacement tube. However, on the contrary, the LED, it's not so popular to get LED in Carrefour, Tesco, even though they provide you the standard size, for example, 2 feet or 4 feet. But the chip and the power supply of each LED, they should match together. So it's not possible for you to buy a 2 feet LED and then fit in your, it's not possible. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. So you have to make sure your long-term running costs should be considered as well. Air conditioning. Sorry. For this, use 115 watt. And the efficiency is very low because you use only small portion of the light. So when we use the infrared measuring detector on the temperature of this lamp, it's 41 degrees Celsius. We are using, power consumption is low and the heat production is also low and high efficiency of my lamp. So you got 34.5 degrees Celsius. There are 6.5 degrees Celsius on your air conditioning cost. Power-wise, if you remember clearly, from 115 watt down to 31, it's already 75% energy saving. If you consider your saving on 6.5 degrees Celsius for your air conditioning cost, it's not to exaggerate to say, I can save your energy for 90% to you for my lamps. What does 90% saving to you? 10,000 ringgit a month for your electricity bill. Now it's only 1,000 ringgit a month. Okay, I say on my first page that we can change the light distribution pattern. We are the only one who may change the light distribution pattern. By how? Do you see the pin here and the hole here? Because we are using reflector, so when you change the relative position of the light tube compared to my reflector, it will change the light distribution pattern. So there are 4 ways of my light distribution. I can make it a little bit leftward, or a little bit rightward, or focusing or diffusion. What does this good to you for this change? For your office, you always have different ceiling height. Some office lower 2.5 meter, some is higher 3.5 meter, some is middle 3 meter, for example. For each different ceiling height, for traditional one, in order to keep the same level of illumination, the only way is to add more and more lamps if the ceiling height is higher. However, for my lamp, if the ceiling height is higher, and you can make the light distribution focusing on your working table. So you can always keep the same level of illumination on your working table, but your surround will be a little bit dark. But that's okay to our working. So for my lamps, if the ceiling height is higher, you don't have to add more and more lamps by adjust this. This is one special feature of my lamps. Yeah. Okay, this is mentioned a little bit. I'll skip this one. I'll skip this one as well. After we introduce this, we have quite strong custom reference. The first one was introduced my lamp 4 years ago in Singapore Changi Airport. That's an international airport. So whenever you go to Changi Airport, you find they sell computers, electronics. You can take a look. You see, each set has only 2 tubes. This is exactly my company's product in Singapore Changi Airport. This is another store. Yeah. We have 2 feet by 2 feet. We have also long one for 4 feet for underground parking, for schools, for hospital. They may have different, but the principle is the same. We are using the optical film to reflect all the light. Yeah. We also have 3 lamps. This is another application in Taiwan. It's called Taipei Art University. We are using 150 watt CDMT from Philips. They are using traditional mercury 400 watt. You can save 66% by these numbers, the power-wise. So we test the new lamp. In fact, both are all new. They call my lamp new lamp. And the old one is mercury one, starting from 6 p.m. to almost 10 p.m. And they got some figures. The power consumption for new is 162 watt. The old one is 342 watt. And up to 10 o'clock, they measure roughly the same. However, the illumination level turned out to be 39 lux for my lamp, and traditional mercury 400 watt only turned out to have 20 lux. So this means, again, less power, brighter, because of my optical film. This is another picture for street lamp. You see, these are all 400 watt mercury lamp. And look at the illumination on the ground. So it's very obvious for the effect of my energy saving. One more special features. Did you notice for this 400 watt mercury, the light is going everywhere, up and down everywhere. But for my lamp, here is dark, but here is very bright. Because I reflect all the light generated by the tubes, everything is going down. So for my lamp, I have a show exhibition hall there, booth in Taiwan hall. If you want to see, you can come later. My fixture, we don't have grid. The grid is to prevent glare. However, because my light tube is in the recessed area, unless you look right upwards, if you look my lamp at a certain angle, you don't see glare at all. So we don't need the grid to prevent the glare. This is another comparison in textile, Taiwan factory. These are traditional lamp. This is my optical film. Look at the illumination on the ground and also the illumination level on the shelf. This is by the same camera, the same angle, and then they take, one shot. So someone might doubt this effect is generated by some camera, but for this one, then it's easy and very obvious to explain the effect. Okay, I make some comparison table for traditional my lamp and LED. Basically, LED is good, is a good product. It save energy and enjoy long life. However, the long life claimed by LED is based on heat dissipation should be good. 30,000 hours, 40,000 hours, some might claim 50,000 hours. This long lifetime, the first priority is the heat dissipation is good. If the heat dissipation is bad, then the lifetime you never enjoy that long. And that is also why the LED cannot make a very big power output. So as you notice, LED always has small start. 20 watt, they have 20 pieces, 1 watt LED. They cannot make one LED this big for 20 watt because the power generated a lot of heat. More than 2 watt, LED, the optimal effect of LED is roughly 2 watt. More than 2 watt, the more power it generates, more heat. 90% of power more than 2 watt will be generate heat only, not light. So that's why they still have optimum water power output. And the color rendering index is a problem. Is another problem for LED to improve also. The color rendering index. The bad color rendering index, what does it turn out to you? For red color, if you see something, the color rendering index is bad, it looks like orange. For orange color, if the light is bad, the color rendering index is bad, it will look like yellow. The real color will not appear as what it should be originally. And some people will feel fatigued eyes and dizzy, and these are some side effects of the light. And for future replacement, it's also easy because we are using traditional one. So you can buy it from Carrefour, Tesco, everywhere in the supermarket. But for LED, you have to go back to the original equipment manufacturer. It's not easy to get for future replacement. Yeah. And the power range, yeah, it's limited because heat dissipation problem. What else? Okay, that's roughly. And this is my current product at this moment, mainly for office and factory. And for interior designer here, I have to say sorry, we don't have product for interior design for indoor application. However, for offices, we have T5 2 tubes, T8 2 tubes, 4 feet, and T5, T8, and projector and 3 lamps. And we also develop 2 feet by 4 feet T-bar ceiling lamps. This is currently my product range. Okay, that's about all my presentation today.